Bastion is an intentional community for returning warriors and families with lifelong rehabilitative needs. Will consist of 78 residential units and a wellness center located in the heart of Gentilly. I was inspired by another group called Generations of Hope, who pioneered this model for community that we're adapting for a military population, but essentially it's surrounding a vulnerable population in a contiguous housing environment with friends and neighbors who live in the neighborhood, in the community itself, and who give service to support, in our case, the veteran, the caregiver, their children. It's that model for community that I think will be our key to success in terms of healing post-traumatic stress, in terms of optimizing reintegration back into the civilian community. And this founder of Generations of Hope, she is an inspiration. So right now, there is a gap in the continuum of care for this population. There are things like supportive housing that exist throughout the country, and there are a plethora of service programs, and all of those are great. But what has happened over the last 10 years of conflict, someone who is injured on the battlefield and rehabs for another year, they are dismissed, discharged, with little to no supports. And many of them slip through the cracks, many of them become isolated, and many of them take their own lives. When I was deep in the throes of my own reintegration, I fell on a group called Knights of Heroes. We do a summer adventure camp for kids who lost their daddy in Iraq and Afghanistan. And at the deepest point of my own personal battles, after coming home from Iraq, I wanted to give up on life and take my own life. When I worked with these kids really taught me a new expression of courage, which is the courage to live on. And I had forgotten that, they had reminded me. So that is a large component of the inspiration for Bastion. Bastion, for me, is filling the gap in the continuum of care. I think we can model a new way of implementing supportive housing, and it's our dream to replicate Bastion to other parts of the country. Our eyes are on the ball for Bastion #1. We've got to get this first one built. What I would like to do in New Orleans after we build it and move families in and prove successful is take what we've learned at Bastion around trauma, post-traumatic stress, what we've learned about post-traumatic growth, and teach it to others in this city exposed to gun violence, domestic violence. We have children in the city who are victims themselves of gun violence. I think that our veterans, our experiences, I think we have something to offer in that department. And if we can figure out the common ground, I would like to bring Bastion into those lives.